My. You aren't from around here, are you?
Today, on Starfield Essentials, in our first segment, this game is on fire, trying a new flamethrower, rough landing side quest after 1100 plus hours, creation kit guide for outpost builders, expire all NPCs with new creation. In our second segment, objects in space work in progress, shipbuilder configurator, trying another player's ships, Chunks Noir is fun and free, crafting for everyone. In our third segment, useful gifts, Lyria companion review, Dani Garcia enhanced, Jandar's rest vendor bug, and words of power. My name is Richard. Let's get started. This game is on fire. This is not news to observant Starfield fans, but TrueAchievements ranks Starfield as number 21 of its top 100 Xbox games of 2024. This metric counts unique players. I brought this to the attention of the Starfield subreddit, and it got the expected reception. To address a few points brought up there. Yes, Fallout 76 and Fallout 4 clearly benefited from the excellent Fallout TV series. Cyberpunk 2077 is present at number 43. Baldur's Gate 3 is also present at number 78. Starfield is free on Game Pass. Yes, that's part of Microsoft's strategy, which is a winning one. Starfield kept people playing on the Xbox, and a lot of those players were likely taking advantage of Game Pass. This ranking is an undeniable win for Starfield, and I am sure the studio is pleased to see so many people playing this game in its second calendar year. Starfield is, however, no longer in the weekly top 40 TrueAchievements rankings. I expect that will encourage Microsoft to make the game available on the PlayStation sometime in 2025. Whether it's early, as in any time in Q1 or Q2, or later in the fall, is up for speculation. You know what else is on fire? This channel! In my last video, I announced that we had our first channel member, Steve Swartz. While completing that edit, Jeffrey S. Green joined. In the past week, 3 more viewers became members. Welcome Pipe MDJ 1027, The Arcane Gearsmith, and Whoopski. Now that we have 5 members, I was able to unlock more emojis for member use. YouTube says that once we have 10 members, I will be able to unlock even more emojis. If you'd like to learn more about membership, please click the join button. It will show the membership information video and benefits without obligating you to anything. As always, I appreciate every subscription, like, and comment. Remember, just subscribing to this channel will show you my daily news posts in your YouTube feed. Next, trying a new flamethrower. Why all this talk of fire? Well, I tried the new Arc Might NPL Flamethrower mod by Mirshaz. It's currently only available at Nexus Mods. In December 2023, TankGirl444 released a repaired version of a cut content flamethrower. Unfortunately, it's been broken since at least May, and I never got a chance to try it. This new weapon is a replacement for the plasma cutter introduced in the June update, and which I'm using here. If you want to keep that weapon, do not use this mod. If you want to use this weapon without doing the Trackers Alliance mission, you can spawn it using a console command. In the video, I did a help plasma to show how to find the weapon itself, and now I did a help NPL, and that will find the ID that we need to add some fuel to this weapon. You don't have to use a console command, and as you can see, the weapon looks the same as the previous version, but it performs much differently. Check it out against these Red Maw Maulers. This is pretty cool. Oh my goodness. The flamethrower uses a new type of ammunition or fuel called NPL. You can either craft it or spawn it using a console command. I have not yet tried the flamethrower with the new Gorefield mod, but I expect to see some skeletons in the near future. See my last video for a review of Gorefield. Next, rough landing side quest after 1100 plus hours. I was experimenting with one of my secondary saves and stumbled into a side quest that I had not seen in over 1100 hours of play. I had just finished taking care of the Shaw Gang situation in the Aquila City Bank. I arrested a few NPCs outside the bank to test one of my mods. Back on the ship, I spoke with Marco Jansen, sleeping in a bed, while he was relaxing in the prison cell. Turns out there's a whole side quest associated with him called Rough Landings. I had seen posts about Milena and about how players wish they could recruit her as a companion.
Oh, if fighting the fleet doesn't get the juices flowing, you're doing it wrong.
This is a reminder that there could still be hidden gems waiting in Starfield, even for those of us with a lot of hours played. And speaking of quests, Bethesda released another Explorers Report infographic last week. It showed 29% of players sided with Anasco Varun, while 71% opposed him. Next, Creation Kit Guide for Outpost Builders. Mesmacat posted a mammoth document titled Starfield Creation Kit, an introductory guide for Outpost Builders. The guide is hosted by Steam, and it is free to access. It has 12 sections and 14 appendices, with more content planned. I haven't read or tried it yet, but it looks incredibly thorough. Please take a look and let me know what you think in a comment. Next, Expire all NPCs with new creation. As you probably know, there are NPCs in Starfield who are immune to dying. As I showed in my video Must Know Console Commands, there are ways to change the situation, but you need to be using a PC to run console commands. Thanks to modder LySoftDev, Xbox players can now change this using the new No Essential NPCs creation. There is no Nexus Mods version. I found 3 mods on Nexus to make NPCs not essential, but at least one does not appear to work anymore. As you can see here, I just took out Benjamin Bayou. He is an essential NPC. And now I'm going to try taking out my Constellation Companions. Remember, this is just for an experiment. I would never do this in the game. It turns out the Constellation Companions are protected. They cannot be affected just by using this mod alone. However, pretty much every other NPC seems to be vulnerable. So, for example, I've tried working on Andreja here. That doesn't have any effect. However, Marika is now down, and down for the count. I'll show you next what you can change if you want to truly eliminate one of your other companions. So there's Simeon Bankowski. Simeon can be downed permanently as well. Here we have Sarah, and I'm trying to use the set essential command, and I'm using her ref ID of 5986, but it's not working. So I checked the Starfield wiki, and I found that her base ID is 5983. So I have to do the set essential command on set essential 59830.
Like this.
And I think it's interesting that you're able to hear the companion's last words. So this is a little bit dark, I realized, but I guess if you want to use your set essential on others who are more deserving, please don't use it on the Constellation members. Here is how to change Andreja. You use set essential 59A7 for her. Let's hear what she says. Oh, poor Andreja. Alright, on to something more fun. Next, objects in space, work in progress. Modder Center Pat has been working for months on something really cool. It's an objects in space mod that appears to add interesting anomalies and locations in orbit. The video you're watching is from Center Pat's latest preview. As with everything I reference, the link is in the description. There are several videos like this. I'll also link those in the description. I am constantly amazed by what modders are doing in Starfield, and I look forward to seeing this mod released. Next, Shipbuilder Configurator. I'm not the sort of player who pushes the boundaries of shipbuilding. If you watch my video on how to use the creation kit to build your ship, you see I use vanilla parts and building techniques. However, those of you who want the greatest control over your ship modding will probably want to try out Shipbuilder Configurator by Grisbane404. It's on Creations and Nexus Mods. This mod introduces a lot of configurable options, and Grisbane404 designed it to be compatible with a wide variety of mods and techniques. Personally, the aspect of this mod that I like is that it makes all ship parts available at any location. As I usually do most of my ship activities at the Red Mile, I like Lon having everything ready for me. Thank you to Matilija for mentioning this in a recent video, linked below. Next, trying another player's ships. In recent videos, I have mentioned a few Space Trucker ships that looked cool. The player who built them published several Steam saves to Nexus Mods for anyone to try. I tested the saves using Steam on Linux. I was not able to use the Use This Safe save. The Creations menu repeatedly prompted me to load missing creations, which I did, every time Starfield crashed to desktop. I was able to test the Orig Truck save. Again, Creations prompted me to load missing creations, which I did. This time the save loaded. The ships are really cool. I particularly liked the World War II plane. It's shocking, though, the effect that these mods have on the game engine. I have a 7600X, 64 gigs of RAM, and a 4070 Ti Super with 16 gigs of VRAM. I play with everything maxed in 4K, and I get anywhere from in the 50s for FPS to easily over 100. With the Orig truck save in New Atlantis, I had FPS in the 20s. I had to drop my quality to high and use DLSS performance to get into the 30s and 40s of FPS. I later went to the Moon of Kurtz and fought some battles there, and I was able to restore my visuals to Ultra with DLSS quality and get FPS in the high 20s to low 40s. I don't know exactly what is causing these huge FPS drops, but I will keep it in mind the next time I see concerns over FPS. Next, Chunks Noir is fun and free.
Who are you? Where's Detective Baloney? You found something, didn't you? Do you know what happened to Chris?
Thanks to the holidays, I got a chance to try the free Chunks Noir quest by Dman445. It's only on Nexus Mods. The mod offers a sort of hard-boiled detective story, complete with New York and New Jersey accent voice acting, and the kind of language as dark as the back streets of Neon. I totally recommend this mod. It's pretty short as far as content goes, but the voice acting is awesome. Personally, I had to try it twice. The first time I used it with a save that had the City Interior Map Markers for Fast Travel mod installed. There's something about this mod that has broken new homestead for me. I tried again with a character that had not used this mod, and then encountered a problem with an elevator in New Atlantis. This is a documented issue that you can work around by sleeping for 10 hours on Venus. Next, crafting for everyone. Do you think your NPCs should do something useful when they approach industrial workstations, or cooking stations, or other setups in your ship or at your outposts? Well, modder Yggdrasil 7 has the answer. It's crafting for everyone, available on Creations and Nexus Mods. Basically, this mod allows NPCs to craft random items at these workstations. They do not require any resources. You control the mod by crafting a special orange at a cooking station. This orange sets parameters for the NPCs. When I first tried the mod, it did not put any items crafted by the NPCs in my ship's cargo hold as promised. However, Yggdrasil 7 responded to my report and fixed the mod. If we take a look, you can see some of the items that were crafted. Sarah made Aurora. How is that possible? Dwarf Star Heart, Galaxy Lo Mein, Giant Heart, Meatloaf, Nebula Watt. Good job, Yggdrasil 7. I will keep this one. Next, useful gifts. Do you think the little gifts that your companions give could be improved? Modder Mix773 thought so, and they released the Useful Gifts mod to change the situation. It's available on Creations and Nexus Mods. Instead of the usual root or whatever, you'll get items from 3 categories, depending on the giver. Gastronomy gives meal kits and water, medicine gives amps, panacea, emergency kits, and theft gives credits, digipicks, and ship repair kits. Unfortunately, this mod conflicts with The Gang's All Here, which allows me to have multiple companions. That's an absolute must-have for me, so I won't personally be running useful gifts. You might want to give it a try, though. Next, Lyria Companion Review. In a recent video, I talked about how I bought the Robin Locke Companion creation, and that I plan to buy the Lyria Companion creation. I did add Lyria to my crew, seen here, and one of my characters is currently traveling with both Lyria and Robin Locke. As a paid mod, Lyria is only available on Creations.
Okay, maybe not so small. Fine, it might have even been big, but still, could you imagine?
Thus far, I think Lyria is a little annoying, but she appears to have more interactivity than Robin Locke. There also appears to be a mini-quest associated with Lyria, which I look forward to trying. I like the fact that Lyria does not take a crew slot like Sarah. One positive I heard about both Robin and Lyria is that they have zero moral compass, similar to one of my favorite NPC mods, Astrid.
Here we go. Watch me work.
To test their boundaries, I had one of my characters raid a couple civilian outposts and arrest whomever they found. Lyria and Robin had no problems with the situation. Next, Dani Garcia Enhanced. Recently, I had a character help Frank Rennick and his defaced robot Styx. Along the way, I encountered Dani Garcia, an NPC I had not encountered in previous play. It reminded me that I had seen a couple of Dani Garcia Enhanced mods, so I tried the one on Nexus Mods. it is totally different from this one on Creations. Now, the description for both mods mentioned having to use the NPC Enhancer gun to apply the new appearance to Dani. I skipped that, and when I loaded my save where Dani was a crew member, her appearance was changed, as shown here. I actually figured that might be the case because I guessed that the mod files just overwrote the stock Dani appearance. I do need to experiment with changing NPC appearances using mods like the NPC Enhancer gun because it seems like a popular way to modify NPCs. Let me know if you are using it in your game. Next, Jandar's Rest vendor bug. I saw a post on Reddit by a user with a string of numbers and letters for a username. They claimed that there was a bug affecting the vendors at Jandar's Rest in Shattered Space. One of the outcomes of this bug was that if you, say, bought 10 of these groat meat, when you checked your inventory, you actually only had 5. This is pretty crazy. I hope Bethesda fixes this, or at least makes it more apparent that vendors are cheating the player in some circumstances. Check out the Reddit post if you'd like to see more evidence and scenarios. Check it out, look at that. Groat pie, I only got 4. What a cheat. And finally, Words of Power. Modder CPT Murphy21, or Captain Murphy21, released a mod that brings some fun to starboard powers. It's called Words of Power, Unrelenting Force. It's available on Creations and Nexus Mods. Now, look at that. Oh my goodness. I did not play Skyrim, but those of you who did know that Unrelenting Force is the first dragon shout unlocked in the game. Don't worry, that NPC will be okay. As implemented by this mod, Unrelenting Force will hurl opponents away from the player. Better yet, it has no negative effect on friendly NPCs, so you can do this in populated areas and no one will complain. Look at the guy hanging from the side. This is a really fun mod, and I suggest you try it at least once. What have you been doing in Starfield? Your insights make this channel a place for positive and honest discussion of the game. In addition to videos, I also post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis. Oh my god! See? Any guard talks back to me, they get blasted. And nobody cares. And by the way, all the NPCs are fine if you just sit there and wait, they'll wake up. If you subscribe, you will see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the word Flame On. Also, remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Check out my other videos if you want to learn how to keep your ship by building it in their creation kit. Oh my goodness. Or my thoughts on the game's 1-year anniversary. My name is Richard, and I will see you in the Starfield. Wake up, NPC. Go ahead, NPC. Wake up. Everything will be fine. See? The NPCs are fine. They stand up, fighting stance. Attention. Stand at attention, NPC. Oh, and they're fine. Hello.